when we go back to Citra and Rowan inside the vault, I think Neil Schusterman does a really good job with small details, quick but small details. And one of those details is the description of the robes. Prometheus' robe and Cleopatra, their robes are beautiful. Cleopatra's robe is stunning. I would love to see a movie adaptation of this coming to life. It'll be very, very, very gorgeous. And while they're in here, they put on the robes and they are finally able to be together as man and woman in this moment. And it's very sad because the moment they're able to be together is the moment when they are in their own world, literally. Like the world is literally falling apart is when they get to be together. Since book one, they form this bond. They love each other very, very much. There is no longer denying those feelings in this moment. I like this romantic storyline in the books. I think the excellent writers are the ones who can write a story and don't rely on the romantic plot to keep readers from coming back. Neil Schusterman has created a story where, yes, there is romance in it between two characters, but it's not the main point of the story. It's not the main focus of the story. I was very interested in Grayson's and the Thunderhead's relationship, how complex it is and how human the Thunderhead is. And I was very much more interested in the Thunderhead in itself. I was very interested in what he has to say, or what it has to say, what its feelings, how this AI is becoming very human. I was interested in the politics of the Scythedom. I was interested in seeing the downfall of the Scythedom and how corrupted it really is. All of that is much more interesting than the romance between Rowan and Citra. So I really praise any author that can put the romance in the back burner. Like, it's just an accent, it's just a little extra, it's just something, it's there, but it's not the focus of the story. Here, even though they are together, finally, it's very short and it's perfect. It's really perfect. That's all you need in this moment. Two characters finally becoming one, and two characters are able to be together. It really is. It's nice. You don't need any more. You don't need any of the flowery verbiage that some books like to put in. There's none of that. You don't need any of that. I really think Neil Schusterman is a great writer. The Thunderhead knows what's going on. He can see it from a distance. He is distraught by having one of his favorite scythe being put in this position. It's totally understandable that the Thunderhead does like Citra as a scythe because she is human. She is trying to portray an honorable person. For the Thunderhead to see that, acknowledge that, and approve of Citra, and for her to be ended this way, for her to be gone, hurts him very much. He's like, he lost hope in humanity because of this act, and because of this, he creates the Great Renaissance. Oh my gosh, the blaring of every single electronic in the world has to be the loudest sound ever. Just in my room alone, I probably have 6 electronics. Having all of them go off with this horrible sound would absolutely startle anybody. And the Thunderhead creates this all over the world, and not just electronics. Everything, anything that can make a sound, he makes this wailing. He makes his feelings known about this whole situation. He is not happy, and he's gonna punish everybody, even though not everybody is involved. You can think of it as, I wasn't involved in this situation in Dura, but in a way, yeah, you are. You're ignorant to the politics. You're ignorant to the situation that's going on, and the Thunderhead blames the world for this moment. So, and of course, this is a moment that the Tonists have been waiting for, the Great Renaissance, and I couldn't help but cheer with them when they finally are able to get this moment for themselves. Like, this is what they've been waiting for. This is what they have been worshiping. The moment where, I guess, technology, this technological world has turned its back to humanity. Like, we have to go back to to our roots of how to do things. And I love how everybody rejoices in this. I like how the tone is. The tone is rejoice in this moment. Grayson is very startled, like any normal human being, about this situation. And he sees that everybody has turned unsavory and they're all freaking out. Except when he looks at his phone, he notices that he is not unsavory. It's out. The big ugly U is off his name. And when he turns on his phone to talk to the Thunderhead, he responds back. The only one the Thunderhead responds to is Grayson. And that's the ending of book 2. If you do not have the Titanic soundtrack going on in this moment, I recommend it so much. It fit 100% to what was going on when Endora started sinking. I just had it on repeat while I was reading. It was the only thing I can think of when I was it's the only music that popped into my head when I was reading it. I love this part 6. It's a great ending to continue on to book 3. And I'm really happy that Citra and Rowan are finally together in this moment. And they're finally one, if you know what I mean. We also get to see Grayson, who finally is able to talk to the Thunderhead. And he's finally able to kind of push past his need for the Thunderhead. And now, in this situation, the Thunderhead needs him. Overall, I had a really good time reading this book. It's so much better than the first one. What makes this book so special is the Thunderhead, in my opinion. The title is The Thunderhead, and I was a little worried that we're going to get a lot of boring dialogue or boring moments with the Thunderhead. I saw him as just as like a plain computer, but he's so much more in book 2, and he's so much more in book 1. I didn't grasp that in book 1. But in book 2, I went from not caring about the Thunderhead to absolutely loving the Thunderhead. Now, I was also a little hesitant with the new characters that were involved, but they were excellent additions to the story, and I end up loving these characters very much. Grayson in particular had a great storyline, and he really pushed the story forward, and he really made the story much more interesting. The way it ended really nicely. It ended with a punch to the gut, and I was ready to hop on book 3. I didn't listen to the audiobook. I read the book, and it was just fine. It was so exciting. There's some moments that are a little bit slow. I was a little worried that the book will go downhill, but no, the story stayed pretty consistent, and I was really happy with that. And the characters, all of them, have matured so much in this book. Grayson matured so much in just one book. Citra and Rowan both matured. The one who matured the most is Citra. She really proved that she is the best one qualified, and she proves it here. She would have become an excellent scythe given the chance. My overall rating for this book is a 5. It was consistent. It was good. We got introduced to new characters. They were a great addition to the story. I feel like nothing was really wasted. I liked how the story didn't depend on the romance to keep the reader coming. It was just a solid book overall. Definitely give it a 5-star. And the cover is gorgeous. It's so freaking gorgeous. One of the reasons why I wanted a physical copy instead of an audio copy is because of the covers, of the book covers. They're beautiful. Yeah, and off to the next one.